there we are.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That
Hello,
does look
Shannon.
better. You're right. 4K. We're coming at you in 5K because 4 ain't enough. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening / watching to NOMS, the only podcast dedicated solely to the work and artistry of Yahoo Serious, Australia's own princess, Yahoo Serious. That's right. No? Is that not what?
Didn't he pass away? Is he?
No.
dead now?
I don't
Okay.
know. I'm not sure if he's alive anymore. I don't know.
Rest in peace, cat.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He always looked like he put his finger in a light socket. Yahoo Serious. The only guy to bring us the true story of Albert Einstein. Yeah. That might have been the only movie of his that actually went to theaters. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I remember Nickelodeon hyping it up for the kids.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
Oh, no.
Oh, crap. Oh, no. Yahoo Serious has spoken. That's right. We are NOMS, and we are not dedicated just to the films of Yahoo Serious. Not just those
Not
gems.
just.
That's right. Not Australia's finest. We are dedicated to movies because we are nerding out.
With matches and
Oh, yes. And a third Affleck brother. Woo! I'm just kidding. It's me, Shannon. I'm the 17th Baldwin. Yeah. We are nerding out. Now, in case this is your first time that you accidentally clicked on this or a friend said, you've got to see this. It's so bad that it's good, that it's bad, that it's good again. We are a podcast.
Yes.
Yes. And on this podcast, we like to discuss films, but not just any random films. We like to talk about movies that maybe we really, really liked, or even ones we hated, or ones we're still on the fence about. But we don't just talk about them. We use, through the magic of the internet and the digital age, and a little magical crystal ball that I like to call Slammy. We use it and we find Siskel and Ebert, the greatest film critics of all time. Would you say that matches?
Yes. True. False. True.
Hard to decide, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
No, I'm
do you ever
kidding.
mess with someone when they ask you a question and go, yes, no, maybe, I don't know, can you repeat the question? You're not the boss of me. No. I do that to lots of people and they don't get the joke.
Do they really not?
No, they do not. I'm like, I'm sorry, did you not have Fox in the early 2000s?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
If they're
well, I said
Amish,
that.
they really
Okay.
don't. But we, of course, use Siskel and Ebert. They used to have the awesome At the Movies review show that played on weekends in syndication on many stations in America. Yes, and perhaps in
That's
Guam.
right.
Think they were huge in
Perhaps.
Guam? Yes, perhaps so. And they would review the movies and they would give thumbs up, thumbs down. I know what I just did there. And what did we enjoy about Siskel and Ebert matches?
We enjoy how wonderful they are and how we
Yes.
used to be there every week to watch them like and hate our favorite movies.
That's right. Sometimes I used to say, well, if they hate it, it's probably good. I said
Oh,
that at one
God.
point when I was little. And then I got a little older and I was like, that's probably not the best theory.
Yeah. That's how it was when I was younger, though. I loved to watch them like talk and fight and,
Oh,
you know, get at
yeah.
it.
But they disagree. But when they both would love the movie, or at least one of them loved the movie, I'm noticing in our shows, they get giddy.
Oh, yeah. I love it when they get giddy. I do. Speed, giddy.
Roxanne, they were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. They were just all over the place. That is great.
It's like they want to take it out for a weekend and, I don't know, maybe meet its parents and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, it brings my heart joy when they're cheesing like that.
It does. Well, tonight we're going to go a little old school, okay? A little preschool, a little, actually pre-kindergarten for both of us.
Yeah, and this is pre-thumbs for Siskel and Ebert, so.
Oh, they weren't doing thumbs yet?
No, it was a yes or a no.
Oh, gosh, that's so final.
Yeah, I don't think thumbs came until the Disney show. They really got their stuff down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, picture it, Sicily or America, 1982. And Disney is about to release a film that, now Disney's been known for releasing great live action films from the 60s and 70s and 80s on. But This was their big sci-fi epic. This was a new thing they were trying. And what's the name of this little movie, Matches?
It's called Tron, the movie that we all thought we couldn't understand because it was too weird.
That is not wrong. I remember now I was tricked because I thought this movie was about Dave Chappelle's character. Remember from the Chappelle show? Tron is living for the city. No?
Nope.
No, it's not. No. What Matches says is not wrong. Okay. I can't speak for the Matches, but I feel like we have similar stories.
Sure
like when I was a kid, I would see specials on TV and we just had antenna. So anytime there was something on TV that wasn't the news or the president or a game show, I was excited. Yeah. And they would have specials sometimes, and they would talk about special effects, especially Star Wars, and it's funny, they had these specials as a kid, like getting you excited, because home video was kind of new, and they were like, you can rent them now, and they kept showing Tron, and they kept showing these bright lights, and these special effects that were literally cutting edge and hadn't been done ever before. Right?
True. Absolutely, yeah. And we'll tell you all, it still looks great.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Groot walked in while I was watching it, and I was like, in 1982, this was cutting edge. She goes, it looks like something I could do on my phone. I was like, it is. It is. Hey, Rocket did her homework. Good job, Rocket.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? All right, thanks. She said I stink, which means in cool preteen language, you're cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I was going to say, I think phones are too advanced to do stuff like Tron looks now. So.
It is very old school. It looks even below the Sci-Fi Channel level special effects.
Yeah,
but at the time,
but it's beautiful. It's well done. I like it.
It looks good. Yeah. And think about it, in 1982, okay, so you had Star Wars, which took special effects to a whole new level.
Yeah.
They literally created a company, right? Industrial Light and Magic, to do the special effects, things that had never been done before.
True.
It's amazing. And so Tron was like, hold my light bright. And it does kind of like a light bright exploded. Am I wrong?
It does, yeah, in the best ways, I think. Yeah,
but I was so excited to rent Tron. And we rented it. And I think we rented it in 87 or 88. So I would have been, just like shy of a decade or so. Yeah. And I forgot it was on. I kind of got bored. I was like, I thought this was going to be exciting. Yeah, like some of the scenes inside the computer world. Did they call it the grid in the first movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Inside the grid was pretty cool, even though it kind of looked like the characters were black and white with, like I said, light bright colors all over them.
And they were. The clothes they were. They're cloth with drawings on them is what they are. And you can really tell now.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, is this still on? And it was okay, And then I was kind of surprised because they were cussing a little in a live action Disney movie, which seemed unheard of at the time. I was like, they said the D word. And these days that'd be
a lot back then and stuff. The Goonies said a lot of words,
Well, the Goonies was after. But what I'm saying, this was Disney, though.
True.
It's kind of
true.
It's kind of like now you can see the R-rated Daredevil show and Deadpool versus Wolverine on Disney Plus if you got the right code.
Oh.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, the whole movie just kind of So, what did Little Matches think about it? Same thing?
We only saw parts of it on TV, I think, growing up. I don't think we ever just flat out rented it.
Oh,
so
okay.
I didn't see it until much, much later, probably the 2000s, maybe before Tron Legacy came out. And I didn't pay too much attention. I thought it was neat. I just wished it made sense, But if you pay attention to movies, sometimes they make sense. All the sense.
You sometimes you appreciate things when you're older. I didn't think David Letterman was funny when I was 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so things appreciate my time. So recently I watched Tron for the show and I was like, I get it. I even texted you and I was like, at almost 48 years old, I get Tron.
Yeah, it's amazing. I had the best time with it. I watched it twice, once this afternoon and then once last week or two. Nice. Yeah, something like that.
Nice.
And I loved it. I thought it was great. It was exciting. It made me excited. Feel these nipples.
Like dimes, baby. Like dimes.
That's right.
So Tron, in case you're wondering, is a 1982 Disney special effects science fiction tour de force set in a computer world, literally, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It is written and directed by Steven Lisberger. I'm not sure what else he did of note. He did some movies, but nothing huge, right? Yeah. But it also stars, and I'm going to say this because as a kid, I thought this, it stars not Kurt Russell, Jeff Bridges. I'm sorry, but Kurt Russell and Jeff Bridges, they were interchangeable when I was a kid. I don't know why I thought
Yeah, I think that's who I got him mixed up with back then too.
that.
I
Okay.
think.
So it's
I'm
not just
pretty
me.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I got
there's-
him mixed up, and what else? There was somebody else too in there. I think I would
Dennis-
get Jeff Bridges and Jeff Daniels' names confused. I was like, oh wait, which one's which? Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like Jeff and Bo Bridges. Which is which?
Well,
Which is although I do love Bo Bridges. He's great.
yeah, he's great.
But yeah, Jeff Bridges, of course, I've had respect for Jeff Bridges for a long time.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, he's the only one who could step into John Wayne's shoes in the remake of True Grit and do something different and wonderful with the character of Rooster Cogburn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even my dad enjoyed the remake of True Grit, and he loved the original.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, so thank you, Jeff Bridges. But yeah,
That's
Jeff
right, thank
Bridges
you.
is in this movie, and he plays a hacker named Flynn. And you got to remember, it's the early days of arcades and video games, and Atari was home Atari. Home Atari was available then, right?
Yeah, 82 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while now, I think, right? Or that
It had
year?
to be.
I don't
Had
know.
to be. I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
we got our Atari in 84, 83, maybe.
Yeah,
Something
so it
like
was
that.
around. I think it came out in 82 or something like that.
Yeah, probably
The,
before
the
that.
2600 or whatever, the big one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Although my sister, to this day, swears we didn't have an Atari. I mean, we had Donkey Kong and we had Mousetrap, which
Yeah.
was, the budget Pac-Man. I'm a mouse. I turn into a dog and eat cats.
So, did you not have an Atari? Did you have like the also ran? I
don't know. I thought we had an
consoles?
Atari and played Atari games. Maybe we had
Okay.
like Futari, or Apari.
Yeah, I mean, if it played Atari games, there's your Atari. If it
I've
played
never
anything
seen
else,
it.
bonus.
Yeah. I've never seen a Nintendo play Nintendo games.
Yeah.
There you go. But let's get back to Tron real quick before we get to Siskel Ebert. But first, we want to roll that beautiful sound.
We do. I love that B-roll footage.
We're
Let's
gonna have
go.
some fun tonight, kids. Just like Tron. That's nice. That's so soothing. That's
I
soothing.
love it.
Yeah. But Tron is basically, it is literally about a computer world that Jeff Bridges' character gets sucked into and
Literally.
has to find his way out. And the computer world itself, even if you think now the special effects are lame or whatever, which they're not, but if you think it's still a cool concept because you've got computer programs played by humans
Yeah.
that look like the people they were either inspired by or created, because at the very beginning, okay, so there's this thing called the Master Control. He's like the emperor of the grid, right? He's the the big bad, and he has an enforcer named Sark, played by one of the best 80s and 90s British villains you could ever get. If you needed a good British villain who seemed a bit higher on his horse but wasn't Jeremy Irons, you got David Warner. Remember David Warner?
Oh. Sounds familiar.
Oh,
He looks
no.
familiar.
You don't remember David Warner?
He looks familiar.
David Warner was
No,
great.
no.
Well, okay. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking he was Billy Zane's evil butler henchman in Titanic. That's one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was one of his older roles.
Okay. Yep.
Yep. And he
That's
also
coming
did some
back.
B movies, much like, he was in a lot of big movies. And he has an awesome Batman connection. Get ready. He was the voice of a fan favorite villain that I had never heard of until the cartoon, but he existed. Ra's al Ghul.
Really?
He was Ra's al, yes, detective. Hello, it is I, Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, he was Ra's al Ghul.
That's cool. He's played Doctor Who on some podcasts too, which is kind of neat.
Okay. Yeah, he had a great repertoire. I think he died a couple years ago.
Okay. Oh, he was in the mouth of madness. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
cool.
yeah. He's had
Yeah.
small parts, big parts. He's been in a ton of stuff. And David Warner was a great bad guy. So you got the Master Control, and the Master Control, what it's doing is basically sucking up all these programs from everywhere, right? All over the computer
Yeah.
world, which was very.
Oh
new at
wait,
the
he
time.
played Sark as well. He played Ed Dillinger. He played Sark, and he
Yes.
played the Master Control.
He
program.
played
okay, I'm
three
catching up.
characters. In the real world, he
catching up.
played Ed Dillinger, who was the head of this company called Incom. That basically Dillinger stole all these video games and designs from Jeff Bridges' character Flynn. Okay, now Flynn has his own arcade, so he can play the games and get paid for people playing the games. but he doesn't own the games.
Not anymore, no.
Yeah, no. And so Dillinger's brought in this master control program, which basically, like I said, is like the emperor, and it's sucking up all these programs and things from other computers. And yes, he also did the voice of Master Control, as you said, and Sark.
That's insane.
So David Warner was triple. Yeah, I mean, most of the actors.
No idea.
Go ahead. What?
I had no idea. That's crazy.
No, yeah. Well, he was uncredited as Master Controller.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, because they were like, look, David, everybody else is playing 2 characters. We're going to keep this quiet. I don't want anyone getting upset. Do you think he got 3 checks?
No, he probably got one little check.
Yeah. And unlimited rides on Space Mountain.
Ooh, that sounded like him.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've been working on it. It's a little Alan Rickman without the bass.
I was going to say, Alan Rickman should have played his part.
Yes. But he would have been, well, actually, he was about to get
he would have been 20-something, maybe. Yeah.
Right.
30. Yeah, he was in his 30s then, probably.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, so Flynn, so at the beginning, the reason I was talking about, the likeness is Flynn has a computer program called Clue, which we'll talk about later. Okay. CLU, Clue. And he uses Clue to hack in to the master control because he's trying to figure out what's going on. He knows there's some shady stuff going on, and he's trying to get evidence about Dillinger stealing his stuff. Clue looks like Jeff Bridges. So basically, most of the people in the real world have their counterparts in the grid.
Yeah. I was starting to question my sanity. I was like, does he not get sucked in the computer? Is he just on the typing the whole time and it's like little avatars going around? That would suck.
Okay, me. Yeah, I thought that at first too. See, as a kid, I really didn't understand.
Yeah, no, I thought that's what happened, but I thought that's like all that happened,
No. Clue gets captured and absorbed and basically killed in this movie by Master Control. He gets, And so you're thinking like, wait a minute, you've been talking about Flynn, you're talking about Sark. Who is Tron? Who is the name of the movie? And Tron is a computer program created by Flynn's coworker. I forget the character's name.
And co-star.
But that's right. The star of the movie isn't even Tron.
No, that's weird. It must have been very confusing for me as a child.
It was confusing because I kept thinking Jeff Bridges was Tron.
He's
I was
Tron.
like, why are they calling him Flynn?
He's a Tron.
I know, right? They could have called the movie anything. They could have called it Flynn. They could have called me.
No, well, Tron's much cooler, I think.
Tron is the coolest name, but he's played by Bruce Boxleitner, who's had a very cool career. He was Scarecrow in Scarecrow and Mrs. King, a show that our grandparents probably loved on CBS in the 80s.
We watched it with them.
You did?
We did. Yeah. That's cool.
I used to watch a lot of CBS shows with my Mama and Papa and Mama and Papa, like Simon and Simon. Remington Steele. And the reason I say CBS is because at our house in Little Old Mount Holly, the TV in the living room and my TV had trouble getting CBS perfectly all the time. So it was a little fuzzy. So Transformers was really hard to watch sometimes. But my sister's room at the back of the house, perfect reception for CBS.
Are you serious?
Yes. And I'd be like, hey sis, can I watch Transformers? And she'd be like, no. So when she was away after school or somewhere else, I went in her room.
You snuck in there, didn't you?
I'm confessing it now. And there's nothing she can do about it legally.
You.
Naughty! Just like Jeff Bridges.
Naughty.
That's
great.
Yeah, we'll talk about the cast and everything else. This movie was ahead of its time.
It was. I think so.
Yeah. And we'll also talk about how it did make a lot of money, but it wasn't quite the blockbuster at the time that they were hoping it was going to be.
Yeah.
But there's reasons.
Unfortunately. There's a lot of reasons.
There is a lot of reasons. And I'm sure you know some. We'll talk about that. We're going to have some fun. What do you think Siskel and Ebert thought of Tron?
I mean, there's a lot going on that year, and I'm sure they saw every one of these movies, so they probably paid more attention to it than the public did, or like the kids that didn't understand it,
Right.
I saw a little reel of a kid from back then coming out of the theater, and they're showing things like, oh man, it's weird, it's like
a kid said that.
Yeah, he's like, inside a computer? I don't know, that's crazy. It was just like,
and then he said, I like turtles.
Yeah, everyone thought it was just too weird, I guess. But I'm going to hope that they liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird, but it's accessible. But as a kid, I guess it didn't seem accessible to me as a kid, and I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they
maybe
would have been adults and could process this, like how good this movie is, right?
You got it.
And, it's a technical marvel, too, and so they're going to jump on that. They've always been about, like, the new, like, a Titan AE, how it looked and all that stuff. So.
Oh, heck yeah. Rocket, what do you think of Tron?
I spawned here. I just spawned here.
I just spawned a second head for those of you watching the show, and I'll be using it later because I got to have that fabulous lock of hair back.
Is that your Quato?
That's my Quato! Open your mind.
Wait,
clean your room.
What's a mine?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's a terrible thing to taste. Say hi to the people.
Hi, people.
Hi.
That was Rocket, ladies and gentlemen. The one I
Such
always
a
talk
cutie.
about. Okay. Well, that was a fun cameo.
Good times.
Yeah, for free. Awesome. Well, let's allow Siskel Ebert to illuminate us, shall we?
Ooh, I
You
love
like that? You
it.
like segue?
I like what you did there.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to get over you. Let's watch some Tron.
The Master Control program delivers an ultimatum in Tron, the new computer game fantasy from Walt Disney Productions. That's one of 4 new movies we'll be reviewing this week on Sneak Previews. Across the aisle from me, Gene Siskel, film critic of the Chicago Tribune.
And this is Roger Ebert, film critic of the Chicago Sun-Times. Our next film is truly something special. It's Tron, an absolutely first-rate computer-age adventure film set inside the world of computer, and that's right, inside, telling the story of a young computer.
Everyone's just so in awe of being inside the computer.
Well, you've got to remember this is the early 80s, and I was meaning to say this, like, not everyone had a computer in their house.
True. Yeah.
It's
No, I didn't. We didn't have one till 94, 95, something like that. 93,
We
maybe.
never had one. I didn't have one till I lived alone.
That actually makes sense. Okay.
That's right. Well, in college I had the computer lab. Why would I
Yeah.
need one at home?
Yeah.
You gotta remember, kids, this was-
almost failed school because I love the computer lab so much.
That's why I stayed in school, because the computer. You got to remember this was pre-streaming, all that stuff. But if you think about it, it's so funny. Back in the day, this was the time when you could do something about a computer. And since not everyone understood computers, you could just make up stuff all the top of your head. Like, I'm sorry, I've got to get the particular RAM and the gram. Giga.
Exactly.
Yes, it needs more giga.
Programmer Jeff Bridges, who gets sucked into
Like, you
a
can just make up
computer
stuff.
when he challenges a computer company executive who has stolen his plans for some very successful video games. The big feature in this film is its computer-generated imagery that frees up the camera to take us on some amazing trips, as in this scene where Jeff Bridges and a friend are chased inside the computer by forces belonging to the computer's master control program. I think the word for that
Okay.
kind of stuff used to be neat. This is neat stuff. Tron is a whole lot of fun that simply dazzles, and in the process it also expands our notion of computers and the people who work with them and create them. And that this is a Walt Disney production is the nicest surprise of all, because before Tron, Disney films of late have been pathetic, unworthy of the Disney name. With Tron, though, Disney instantly is up to date, a truly exciting movie.
I love this movie. I got into it right away. The
Yeah.
sound is terrific. You can't really hear that on television.
On
I
the
suppose.
scale.
The sound surrounds you, the size of the screen, the big screen, to see this on a big screen. And I got into this world and I had never seen anything like it before. We talk oftentimes about the fact that movies can take us to places we've never been before. Tron
Yes.
took me to places nobody had ever been before,
Yeah.
and it made it, and it didn't explain everything with, putting a label on everybody and explaining computers. It just assumed intelligence on the part of the audience.
That you would get it.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not a big fan of computers, even though I write with one at my newspaper. But I sort of have a derisive attitude. I wish I had my old typewriter. I suppose the fear of this stuff. This film got me involved, and I have a new admiration for this whole world and for the people that do know it and do love it. I think it's a very appealing film. In addition, I would say see it in the biggest theater with the best sound system that you can possibly see it in, because I saw it in a big house in New York City, and it was fabulous.
I think actually that you're absolutely right, and the fact is the movie is really a technological triumph. I mean, the characters are one-dimensional at best.
Except for Jeff Bridges, who is terrific.
Well, he's terrific, but even he is overshadowed by the fact that we have this enormous panoply of background and the computer universe, the landscapes and so forth, that is just so terrific to look at that the better the theater you can see it in, the more overwhelming the experience is going to be. Finally, 2 very enthusiastic big yes votes for Tron, the dazzling new fantasy film
Big
from Walt
yes.
Disney, which uses human actors and brilliant new animation techniques to take its characters inside the circuits of a computer universe. So,
Well,
Tron's the big one, right?
Yeah, Tron's the big one. That's
All right. Well, that's a win. I would call that a win.
I think so. I think that's the way. Do you think they liked it?
I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
They weren't as giddy as they get later on, but they'll get there.
I
They're
know.
a little reserved like we are at first,
Siskel's like, I don't trust them Peters.
That's right.
Yeah. It is kind of funny because right after that, I think was maybe a year or so, was Superman 3, which did the very smart thing of making Richard Pryor a co-star in Superman movie. And I love Richard Pryor, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But remember he became a computer expert overnight?
Oh,
and the character even said something about like, I don't even know what I did, but I'm doing it. That was computers in the 80s, kids.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, I want to say real quick, they talk about Jeff Bridges' performance. His performance is great. But did you notice that maybe this is Jeff Bridges? Maybe I need to go back and watch some 80s, early 90s Jeff Bridges. But it almost seemed like he was a precursor to the Dude. Because if you think about it, the people
is a laid back guy in real life. That's how he acts.
The people like Steve Jobs and all those guys, Bill Shut the Gates, they were probably like the hippies in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. Jeff Bridges, I mean, he's lived out on a farm in like Oregon or somewhere with his wife longer than we've been alive, just smoking and having the best time. That's what
That's right. Probably shooting varmints with a little old rifle. Boom!
Yeah, they've literally been together, 40-something years or more?
I think so. Jeff Bridges is wonderful. But every time he says, man, okay, man, in this movie, I keep thinking that is the Dude's, well, I would say probably same age. So
yeah, but he's not a computer program. He's just a guy in the computer, so he can say that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I know, right? He's like, the RAM really... pulled this computer together.
yeah. I mean, he's a programmer and he's also, runs an arcade. He's got that laid back attitude that I believe,
I'm just Flynn, man. I'm the Flynn.
Exactly. Yeah. He's the Flynn.
But he's very the Dude. Yeah, no, he's very laid back. He's very lovable, scrubby. You said he runs the arcade, Flynn's Arcade. That's pretty cool because he had to settle for doing that. I wanted to say real quick about Bruce Boxleitner. Not only was he Scarecrow, but Bruce Boxleitner, and I wrote it down because I forget, he was in not a show I loved, but it was definitely a big cult sci-fi favorite on TV, Babylon 5. Remember Babylon 5?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he was the captain. I never watched it. Yeah, I can't tell you.
I saw some episodes.
It was on TNT like all the time, I swear.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Early 2000s. Yeah. And it also had, what's his name? From Animal House. Oh gosh, what was his name? Was it the chubby guy? Not John Belushi, but Stephen. What was his character's name? Not Otter, but
Beaver.
No, not Beaver. Flounder. Yes.
Okay, Flounder.
Flounder was also in Babylon 5 because someone called me Flounder at OBU and I just never got over it.
Oh no.
And I wasn't even chubby.
Wow, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now
maybe they met from The Little Mermaid. So.
Oh, maybe so. What a compliment. But Bruce Boxleitner, I wanted to say real quick, was in one of my favorite episodes of that awesome HBO anthology, Tales from the Crypt. He was in the episode. Yes, he was in the episode called Top Billing. If you don't remember this episode, it's the one where he was a rival with John Lovitz. Whoa. They were both actors, and they were rival for parts. And Bruce Boxleitner, obviously being just a little better looking than John Lovitz, would get the parts. And John Lovitz saw that he was going to be playing Hamlet in this kind of off-Broadway production, so he killed him to get the role.
Oh.
Yes, but I will not spoil it any further if you want to watch this episode. It's great.
Nice. Yeah. Well, let me see John Lovitz too, so that's great.
I love John Lovitz. Yeah. No, the cast is really good. You've got Cindy Morgan, not to be confused with 90s contemporary Christian singer Cindy Morgan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't know that one, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to tell you something that you may not know. I didn't know this either. Cindy Morgan played the character of Lacey Underall in Caddyshack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I love how the wheels started turning.
Yeah. I remember her. Okay.
Yeah. She was Lacey Underall. And she was also on, again, with the anthology series, she was on one of my favorite episodes of the short-lived 2-season Steven Spielberg-produced anthology, Amazing Stories.
Stories?
Yes. If you had Sci-Fi Channel in the 90s, you saw Amazing Stories.
Oh, yeah.
I love that show. She was in one of my favorite episodes called, I kid you not, Hell to Pay, about a killer toupee that would crawl on bald guys' heads and make them kill people with guys with hair.
That's awesome.
Yes, because The Simpsons stole the title for one of their Halloween episodes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, where Homer gets the hair and it turns him into a killer.
Yeah, I remember every year it'd be like, oh, they're doing another Amazing Stories. We got to watch this one. Whatever.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Some of them were, and some of them were just okay. They should have called them like mediocre stories. Some of them.
It's like Black Mirror, but apparently it's back and in pure form. So.
Oh yeah. Well, they also brought back Amazing Stories on Apple TV for one season.
Oh, I heard about that, but I never watched it.
It's okay. It's okay. There's some good episodes. There's like 5.
I watched Time Bandits that got canceled, and everyone probably should have watched it. It was actually really good.
Okay, I know Lisa Kudrow's in it.
Yeah, Lisa Kudrow's in it. Yeah. And Jermaine Clement, of course.
Oh, nice. It's funny you should mention Time Bandits. You know who played the villain in that movie, who was basically the personification of evil?
Who, Shannon?
David Warner.
How? What? I should have known.
Full circle.
How did I know?
Matthew. You should know, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So back to Tron, although you should check out Time Bandits for sure.
Yeah, but Tron, man, I'm surprised at how much I like this movie. It's really good. I'm probably going to get the poster or something, throw it up next to my Flight of the Navigator poster. Yeah.
That's just it. The poster was one of the coolest things you ever saw, right?
Oh, yeah. And all the stills from it and stuff were just beautiful. The lights and the cameras.
Yeah. They had these cool little discs that were called identity discs, you know, and they could use them as basically killer Frisbees. They would have like little duels with them.
Yeah.
They were like the lightsabers. Yeah, they were pretty cool. Yeah. And like he said, they are video games in there. They've got like this weird, what would you call that thing he plays with that one program? It's like a handball kind of racquetball, but it's like you get the ball in a scoop.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay. Yeah. It's one of the games. It's like a lacrosse type stick or something.
Yeah.
And you throw it up against the ceiling and it comes down and it will erase one of the circles. Whatever.
Yes, and you have to not fall in.
Yeah, you have to not fall in and die. Yeah.
That's right. You die in the program. You die, in the program because everybody else is in the program.
Yeah.
Except,
what happens with Flynn if he dies in the program? We didn't cover that.
Oh, he probably does die. Because Flynn is what's known as a user, a computer user. And that's why Tron is built, because he fights for the users. That's his motto.
It's true. Yeah. And the users are basically God to them. So
yes.
And they all believe it. The religious undertones are very overtones on this.
Yeah, I was shocked. I did not get that as a kid at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. But it's definitely on purpose.
And so the master control basically wants all the programs not to believe in the users. That master control is all they need.
True.
Pretty much. Yeah, and he's literally trying to take over like every computer. You hear him say like, "I think I'll try the military ones next." Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna do the Pentagon next, and that's when Dillinger's like, "Wait a minute."
Dillinger's like, "I don't. That's under too far."
Yeah. The bad guy of the movie thinking this is a little too far. Yeah. Our rogue AI is going to take over the military and everything else.
When was War Games? Was War Games after that?
Oh gosh, was it around the same time? Let me make sure real quick.
Well, while you're doing that, let me say something about the quality of this film. So it looks really good. It sounds very good. But Absolutely. Did you notice? I haven't noticed this as a kid. When they're in the computer world, I don't know if it's the special effects at the time or they decided it was enough to have what they had. It was real quiet. Like, it's a very quiet world. Did you notice that? Like, you could hear literally a pin drop in the world of the grid in Tron.
Yeah, I know they were, rushed and had to make some things work, especially with like the backgrounds and stuff. They were like, when in doubt, paint it black.
Right,
so they just black it
all
in.
There's not a lot of people. Like every now and then you see real. Jeff Bridges, he'll run by some people who look like they're just hanging out in the digital street. Like, oh, who is that?
Yeah, but we did get a good Easter egg. I don't know if you noticed Pac-Man.
I was wondering when we were going to talk about the little Easter eggs. Yeah, there's a cameo by Pac-Man. Tell him.
Yeah, we'll put it up now. Here it is, guys.
Waka, 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 waka.
Okay. By the way. Waka, waka. They actually have the noises and the sound in the background. It's just very, very
Sark
faded.
is looking at some sort of map, right? And you can see Pac-Man. Yes. Oh, yeah. Off the grid, by the way, Groot used to do an awesome Pac-Man impression when he was 5 and 6. He would go waka, 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 waka.
Really? Okay.
It was great. But yeah, not only do they have a Pac-Man cameo, they also have a hidden Mickey. There's a hidden Mickey Mouse. Overlord. Yeah, it's like underneath the solar sailor, as they call it, the ship. Yeah, and in the set, apparently there are elements I've read of asteroids, Pac-Man, and Space Invaders. I don't know exactly how have to go back and see
That's
it.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's definitely a
Yeah.
tribute to like the video games of the day. Speaking of which, the director writer was inspired by Pong. Yeah. Because video games were still kind of new then. They weren't quite they were a huge industry, but they weren't like standard. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's like, what if there are little people in there?
That's what he thought. That might be
Making
a
this
fun little
work.
world to explore.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, apparently it blew everybody's mind. So good job on that. Inside the computer? Oh my gosh.
I know, like
crazy.
even still they were like, a computer? I never even thought about that.
Yeah, it's so funny. I love it. I mean, you're probably the same way back then, but you know.
And what's funny about this movie, at the beginning when you see Flynn's arcade, who do you see populating the arcade? It's a bunch of adults. Did that really happen in the 80s?
There's some kids there too, but there was that jab that she said about him, like his only best friends are 14 or something like that.
Well, it's kind of funny because like adults came up with the video games and they were played by kids, right? So then the kids, us, grew up to be the adults and never stopped playing video games. Right?
Yeah, here we are in our 40s.
That's right, video games were not an adult thing back then. Yeah. That's right.
It's what I live to do now.
But we do need to talk about Master Control. You know, he's getting too close. So Master Control decides to use this new experimental laser that was built by the character played by Cindy Morgan. And I kept wondering, who is her partner? That old guy. Why do I know that? Why do I know that action and that voice? The guy who played the old scientist guy, whose name I can't remember, but his programming counterpart was Dumont. Do you know who that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
He looks so familiar. I wanted to place it. Yeah.
That's Bernard Hughes, who had a whole bunch of roles and stuff, but is known to us as Grandpa from The Lost Boys. Because he always sounds like he's one step ahead of everybody. Like, oh, let me tell you something now. I'm gonna school you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I love. Wasn't he also? Was he
that's
the
what I'm talking
mountain
about, Dumont.
too? Was he the?
Well, I think that was a costume.
Yeah. And then at the end.
Because later sarcasm on the wall in chains,
like a little,
you know, like the whole thing, and he's like a regular dude.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He had some points in this one.
He did, man. But like I said, like it feels quiet because maybe because when you see the sequel Tron Legacy, like it's a whole world.
Yeah. Do you think they went too far in Tron Legacy in filling out the world, or do you think you get kind of scaled back?
To be fair, in Tron Legacy, which by the way, when I went into watching Tron Legacy, I thought, why in the world would they make a sequel to Tron? It's been so long. I know it's beloved, but why? But then I saw it, and I loved Tron Legacy right away. Like I thought I wouldn't understand.
Yeah. Did you see it in 3D in the theater?
Yeah.
Okay. I did 3D. It was actually one of the best movies in 3D I ever saw.
But yeah, I mean, there's like a whole. Apparently, like Jeff Bridges' character had a family and then decided to go recreate the grid and make a whole new world that would be accessible and free to everyone. And he created a brand new clue. Yeah. Now I won't spoil Tron Legacy for you. If you want to see Tron Legacy, it's not my movie pick of the week, but it is a great movie.
Yeah, I remember really having a good time with that. I didn't have time to finish it.
Okay.
This
you know
week,
what I didn't realize? There is a character that is Dillinger's son that works at Incom, the company that Jeff Bridges ends up getting at the end of the movie because he pretty much he spoils David Warner's plans and gets it exposed that he stole video games. Do you know who plays Little Dillinger? In a very small 5-minute cameo, Mr. Cillian Murphy. One of our favorite actors.
Really?
A recent Oscar winning last year for Oppenheimer. Okay. The Scarecrow in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
The star of Peaky Blinders, which I think is a great title for anything. I'll call Peaky Blinders.
It is. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's really good.
So Cillian Murphy plays Little Dillinger. And of course, they're looking for Jeff Bridges' character. But back to Tron. I have to say, at the end, when him and Tron are taking on Master Control, did you see the form that Master Control takes? Like, you never see him in the movie, but then you see his form. Do you see do you remember what he looked like?
Yeah. I mean, like, he's just this red hourglass almost looking thing, I guess.
That right there, I didn't remember that at all from Tron. And I'll tell you why I didn't remember and I should have.
Okay.
There is an episode of South Park from their third season in 1999 called Jubilee, where Kyle goes to Jewish kids camp and takes Kenny with him. And they're apparently going to get a cameo by Moses. Moses is going to show up. And Moses is represented as a giant red dreidel that is the shape and face of Master Control. It's the exact same image. So when I'm watching Tron, I'm like, it's Moses!
Wait a minute.
That's where they got that from.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
they borrowed a lot from their childhood. Yeah. So
Yeah. That's so
They were
cool.
inspired by that. Yeah. Like I said, this movie was ahead of its time. The special effects used. Tell people what you know about the Oscars and their special effects. The Tron special effects. Yes, that's what I meant.
Oh, Tron special effects. I know they were just basically disqualified because they used computers and so they cheated. Is what happened, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I mean, anyone that can do that with a computer, hey, that's pretty magic. But I get it. I do get it.
It's like some people who thought early rappers were lazy because they pieced together music from other sources and put it together.
Yeah, sampling. And now sampling is like, sampling.
They don't even sample it.
Thing ever.
They don't even sample it
They were
anymore.
geniuses.
They take the song. Selena Gomez has pretty much gutted Train's Never There for her song, but it's still never there.
Mm-hmm.
A cake.
Oh, cake?
Did I say
Or
train?
train?
I meant cake. A train full of cake. That sounds good.
Train.
Two incredibly different artists that I love.
What kind of cake is it? Is it yellow cake
Don't
with
drop
light
that
icing?
yellow cake. It's
there a
red
strawberry
velvet
car?
train. Wait, what are we talking about? Strawberry car. People
know.
all over the world.
feeling-
Join hands. Start a cake train. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
No thanks.
Gotta lay off it.
good.
The Oscars ignored it, but the Oscars did nominate it for sound and costume design. Yeah. Which is funny because,
that's
like I said,
cool.
it's so quiet.
Well, yeah, this movie's great because it's a mix of like hand-drawn animation, live action film, and
Yes.
also computer
And
graphics.
they used what was called at the time a trend called backlit animation. Yeah. So, which I don't know if that's the same as rotoscope, but I know rotoscope was used in that Lord of the Rings movie that was the only good film made by Ralph Bakshi, even though it was bad.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah.
Come at me, Fritz the Cat. I said it.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it exactly, but I know they put out a test, which took them months to do, just a small test footage. And they're like, if we do this, it's going to take us 5 more years to finish. So what did they do, Shannon? I think
They used the speak and spell.
Well, what they were doing was they were putting the film on animation cells and painting over it the blue and the all that kind of stuff, and they would make it kind of glow somehow later,
Very
I guess,
neon.
while they're filming. But so they sent it to a I think it was a Korean animation house or what we like to call a
Animation Jamboree?
no. I mean, they were pretty much crut. What do you call it? They're crunched. That's what it is. It's basically a sweatshop where animators churn out all of these like things for the people, and the people on top make all the money, where they make barely enough to live on. So.
No,
Yeah,
and it's funny
not great.
because, like I was saying before we started, Disney was the first. This was the first time they had hired outsiders to come in, and they were not happy to have.
But they had to, and they were done in 2 months. Like this is how fast they turned this out.
Yes,
and it was in
but Disney
good quality
did not like
too.
working with outsiders. They were like, "Yeah, you can use that space," But this movie, like I said, made good money at the box office and was incredibly influential because it influenced John Lasseter and Pixar to see that computers could be made to make films. And that's how we have Toy Story and some of the greatest animated films ever
That's
made.
true, man.
And Disney said, hey, we got to get some of that,
Yep, I went to the theater and saw Toy Story at least 3 times.
I
something
waited
like
for
that.
rental. That was a big
I love
year
it.
for movies. But speaking of big year for movies, I think you know where I'm going. This movie could have been a bigger hit. They were going to release it in December. They were going to release it as a Christmas movie. But do you know why they decided to fast track it to summer of 1982? Well, because one of our favorite films was being released that summer, The Secret of Nim. That's right. And you know who did The Secret of Nim? That's right. Who
I
used
do,
to
Don
work for
Bluth,
Disney.
right?
And Disney was like, we're not gonna make it easy for him. They decided to put Tron out around the same time so they could crush Secret of NIMH. Yes.
Are you serious?
No,
And it
because
didn't
guess what
exactly
else
work,
came out
did
that
it?
summer?
No.
Yeah, the
E.T.
summer of
came out that
'82
summer, I think.
seemed like one of the greatest summers ever because not only E.T., but you had five of the most money making, most of them, five of the most beloved and popular movies of all time. You had E.T., you had Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Yeah.
you had Blade Runner.
Yeah, well, that was the re-release of later Raiders of the Lost Ark, so it had already come out. This was its re-release.
Oh, did it come out in '81? Okay, maybe you're right. Anyway,
I believe so,
point
yeah.
is, it says Raiders.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it
That's
still
what
made
I read.
so much more money.
Home video wasn't
Even
a
that year.
total thing
Yeah.
yet. You also had, I wrote it down.
Yeah.
You also had Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, a movie that a lot consider the best Star Trek movie ever made. And then you had another little movie that little Shannon was afraid his parents were going to watch and not let him watch TV anymore, Poltergeist. So you had five of the most iconic films and beloved films.
That was Steven Spielberg produced.
And Harrison Ford was in two of them, considering the re-release. But yeah,
that's true.
So basically Tron was like, they were lucky to be seen. You know, they were lucky to be invited to the party.
Yeah, that summer, I mean, like, I'm not surprised. It's a Disney movie, but I guess I'm not surprised my parents didn't take us to see that. We saw E.T. that year. We were only 4?
Yeah. I was 5-ish. I was gonna. I had just turned 5.
We were almost 4. The first movie we saw in the theater was Fox and the Hound. We were 3. And that, I guess it was the year before, I think. And then that year we went and saw E.T.
Nice,
so I think
we saw Fox and the Hound in the theater as well.
Like
and
but I
by
remember.
the way, Gino boy, he was kind of right. Disney wasn't doing great in the 80s until The Little Mermaid. I would say between The Fox and the Hound and The Little Mermaid, they were putting out either mediocre films or animated films that weren't being seen that much. Yeah. Like
Black Cauldron,
I like the Black
think,
Cauldron.
somewhere around there.
I think, maybe.
It's great, but
Oliver
it
and
looks
Company.
wonderful, whatever's going on.
And The Great Mouse
was that
Detective.
Disney? That was Disney. I loved Oliver and Company. I remember collecting the cups
I
from
still
McDonald's.
haven't seen it. I got Disney Plus, maybe one day.
Yeah, back then we thought it was brilliant. The songs were great.
It looked pretty cool. You want some more? That's the wrong one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the wrong one. I think so.
Yeah, that's Oliver Twist.
I wanted to say real quick before we get out of here. Ram, the character of Ram, is played by an actor who should be a household name. I'm kidding. His name is Dan Shore. Do you know what we know him from besides playing Ram? You know
what is it? He looks familiar to me.
Anything else I had ever heard of, except for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as Billy the Kid. Yeah.
Whoa.
I
A
know,
little
right?
treat. That's cool.
Little nudges for you there. Little extra appetizer. Yeah.
I like that guy. He was cool.
Oh, and there is, I don't know if you're ready to wrap this up, but there is one more thing I'd like to say about Tron that I don't remember as a kid, but I really wish I had. Okay. At the beginning, when Clue is trying to break into Master Control, and he's in a tank, right? And they blow his tank up and fall it over.
Yeah.
Did you hear him scream? I don't even know if that's Jeff Bridges. He gives out the most.
Did he scream a Scrump scream?
Which
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
It's like Kate Capshaw, Indiana Jones, Vicky Vale, Batman type.
That's great. Okay.
Yes,
the final girl.
You know, my mom. That's what my mom would say about Temple of Doom and Batman. She's like, "Oh my gosh, all they do is scream in these movies." She's like, "Kim Basinger just screams her little lungs out in this movie." I tell you.
You find a dead body, you
get
scream.
Kidnapped by Jack Nicholson. There you go. You fall from a building.
You know. Yeah.
You have to share scenes with Robert Wool. You scream.
You scream.
Not my favorite actor. Is there anything else you want to say before we wrap
You fall
this?
off of Yakatomi Plaza. I don't know. You fall off of Yakatomi Plaza.
You think Alan Rickman let out a and they edited it, baby.
Yeah, they just silenced it. You know.
They're like, we gotta cut that. We gotta cut that. Well, Tron is a good movie, and it is a cult classic, and it's created a whole franchise. There was the sequel, Uprising. there was a series. No, Legacy. There was a cartoon series on Disney called Tron Uprising. Which,
when was that?
Yeah.
Okay, was it good?
I
Did you
did
see
not.
it? You didn't see it, did you?
But I love Legacy.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna go back
Legacy
and
is a
watch it.
great movie.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I mean, Michael Sheen has a small part in it that just steals the whole thing. And Jeff Bridges is
Oh,
great.
nice. Yeah.
Bruce Boxleitner, not in the movie as much, but cool.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the new one, that comes out here 15 years after that one.
He is one
Starring
of the
Jared
stars.
Leto
Yeah,
for some reason.
it's called-
But
it's called Tron
yeah.
Ares. I didn't know if you knew. Sorry.
Ares? Ares, yeah, that's it.
Tron Ares.
It's okay. But it's like Tron comes out into the real world.
Exactly.
this time,
Oh,
so.
really?
Yeah.
That might be a nice
Yeah, that's
twist.
what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think
It's
so.
about time. We went in. They can come out.
There was
It's
also a
fine.
Tron video game they made.
Why not?
And there was an attraction at Disney World. I don't know much about it, but
Yeah.
I feel like one of the Disney, like maybe Disney World in Florida has a light cycle race.
They might now.
No.
They didn't when I was there. So after Tron Legacy, I bet they did something
the
like
light
that.
cycles
Maybe.
were very
Yeah.
cool in the old Tron. They did look like a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
That's
you
true.
go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say?
No, let's
Let's
go ahead
rate
and rate
this
this
mother.
sucker. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad
what
you
you rate it,
asked.
Shannon?
I did not. I was bored as a kid, and I was shocked that I was bored, and I did not go back to it until now. But because it inspired Tron Legacy, and I totally get what's going on in the movie now, and I think it's good. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 clues going. Ah!
Okay. All right. 3.5 seems a little low because I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 sparkly waters of power.
Yes,
for no
it gets
reason.
them drunk.
Out of 5. Yeah, and then the little bit that comes on, remember Bit? He was that little thing that comes, it just disappears. You never see him again. Apparently he had a bigger role in the script, but they had to cut it, and it was really, really good. Apparently his stuff was great, just absolute
Bit
gold.
kind of looked like
They
a
didn't have
scroll, a
time.
scrushed up piece of paper, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He's just he was an octagon of some sort. Like I don't know.
Sorry about that. Rocket came in to show me a picture of our dog. That's
nice.
That's fatherhood.
Score.
Love you, Rocket.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it the waters of power that went absolutely nowhere.
I don't
Why
know.
did they do
it
that?
made them kind of drunk. If you notice that, they were like,
It was neat. I thought it was neat. It made him glow more, but old dude just died, and it didn't help him.
right?
It didn't
Yeah,
seem to
Ram
help
does
him
that,
any.
and Flynn was like, "Hey, man, I'm really digging this. This is nice.
Yeah, and he was trying to get more and more and more. He's like, whatever this is.
Give me a straw."
Did you ever bathe in the waters of?
Have you ever
What is it?
purified yourself in the waters of Lake
Lake-
Minnetonka?
Lake
You think that was a line and they
Yeah.
cut it? You ever purified yourself in the waters of Lake?
Probably. Princess over there. Like, yeah,
Been there, man. Been there.
Take it off.
That's awesome. Well, that was.
All right. Well, that was Tron, y'all. Go watch it. It's
Yes,
awesome.
check it
Tron is
out.
awesome, man.
Here's what you do.
I
You
love
watch
it.
Tron. You want to watch the cartoon because it's set in between. That's optional.
Yeah,
Definitely watch Tron Legacy.
absolutely.
Watch both. Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, and you will understand
both,
Tron Legacy.
yeah.
I mean, you can understand it without knowing Tron because I didn't. I'd forgotten what happened in Tron a lot. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But it kind of helps.
Mhm.
Yeah. Have a clue.
Let's do it.
All right. Speaking of,
Next.
segue. What's about to happen, Matches?
All right. Well, what happens next is Shannon tries to sing the theme song of the show. And we'll see what happens.
Wow, Matches. Thanks for that incredible opening. That's wonderful. It's like Carlos Mencia came in and opened for us. I feel that energy.
I'm
That's
MC,
all-
what can I say?
It's like Ben Stein came in and introduced us. You're right. I do try to sing a song. I've got a theme song inspired by Tron. Are you ready? Oh, it doesn't matter because you're going to enjoy it. I need you to do me a favor.
was born.
I need you to clap a rhythm. I need you to go.
What's that?
Ready? I'm in a fast machine. I keep my light cycle clean. I'm the best video game player that you've ever seen. I got sucked inside, took on a British guy, met some cool programs like a Disney ride, turned black and white with little blue lights, trapped in an Etch-a-Sketch without any rights. Commodore 64, we made some noise, helped the guy from Babylon 5 and Grandpa from Lost Boys. The world was breaking, Master Control was shaking, and we were baking. And now it's the chorus. You shook me just like Tron. Yeah, you really shook me, and you, woo, shook me just like Tron. Yeah, you shook me. Woo. Oh, man. Woo.
Got to shake you.
Time to turn up that AC.
If you shake the baby, will stop crying.
I remember hearing that as a child. No.
That reminds me, the music in Tron is literally nothing special. We don't even get a synthesizer until the very end.
It's quiet. In
Like,
the
we
world
get
of the
one
Gwyn,
note.
It's so quiet.
Yeah, and then, like in the real world, we get just some random
No.
symphony stuff, like orchestra stuff going on. Just very light, very just music to go.
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
even go
music
with
that
it.
you
It's
can
just,
walk
like,
out of the
there
theater to, like,
be there. Yeah, which is weird because, you know, like with Tron Legacy, you get Daft Punk, you know, doing the entire score. I actually listened to it yesterday. It's brilliant. I went to the grocery store.
I
I was
actually
like,
thought about buying it years ago. I was like, it's a
motorcycle.
score, but I'm going to buy it.
It really is good. And then Nine Inch Nails is
What?
doing the new one. So there's going to be a real darker twist. Yeah. Not Atticus Ross and David and you know,
Trent
I
Reznor?
forgot his name. Anyway, Trent Reznor, thank you.
Pete Davidson?
It's full
No,
Nine Inch
okay,
Nails.
that
So,
sounds awesome. Well, speaking of awesome, the next part of this show, a little segment that is beloved by... Yes, I was
all
going
of
to
us,
say...
like really, we
my
love
mom
the
would like
segment.
it,
Yeah, it's good.
This is part of the show where we like to call... You ready?
Your mom. Oh,
She's
no,
wonderful.
Sorry.
Here she is. I'm kidding. I wish she was. Hey,
Yes.
everybody. How are you? Oh, stop it with the movies. He cut it out.
Thanks, Gloria.
Boy, you're going to get it when you get home. This part is called the Video Movie Corner Pick of the Week. Hello, my baby. I think so.
that's the best we've done in a while.
Record that, and that's it. And just leave it there. Yeah. Video Movie Corner Pick of the Week. Tell them what happens here. Matches.
Here we're going to pick a video movie from the corner down the street. Basically, your streaming services or wherever you get fine movies. But I wish I owned a little video store.
I don't think they exist anymore. Even the last Blockbuster closed, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. That's what they said.
They
They're
literally
really
were,
the last one, apparently. So, yeah. But this is the point of the show. We're going to show you something. We're going to tell you about something. We're going to tell you about a movie if you haven't seen, you need to watch. That's basically
We're just going to slap it on your plate, and you better enjoy it, because that is all you're getting for dinner. Do you want me to go first? Or do you want to go first?
Yeah. I
knew it. Now I got to pick a movie. Hold on. Okay, so my movie, I tried to avoid picking a movie that was like the movie that we're doing. My movie's Tron Legacy. No, my movie is a little, I don't know if anyone knows this movie. I don't even remember seeing a trailer for it. Came out last year in 2024. Maybe little known. It's currently on HBO and streaming on Max. It is a it's a good movie. It's a delightful romantic comedy horror little romp, psychological, all mixed in, a little Beauty and the Beast. It's called Your Monster. It stars Melissa Barrera from 2 of the Scream movies and lots of other stuff. Melissa Barrera, she's beautiful, she's wonderful, she's bubbly. She plays an actress who suddenly gets stricken with cancer, and her boyfriend dumps her because of the cancer. He's also a jerk. Suddenly, she gets visited by a monster that lives in her closet. Now, the monster kind of looks like a raggier version of Ron Perlman from Beauty and the Beast. You know, he's got long hair.
Okay, I'm seeing this. It's like that and a cross between that and
he does look kind of Teen Wolf. Yeah, I would say. He does look like Teen Wolf. Not like the dad where he looks like an owl. He actually does look like, Scott. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically the monster tells her, she's been ignoring him all his life. She needs to embrace him. And they start having adventures. They fall in love. Things happen.
Ooh.
I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I will say there's a bit of a mystery. And at the end, it's pretty obvious and it's a great ending. It's dark. It's got some dark humor in it. And if you like kind of offbeat semi-romance with a bit of horror, you will enjoy Your Monster.
I do.
So go see Your Monster.
Okay. I feel like I will.
Yeah, my monster was Ethel Merman. Here's happy. What's your video movie pick of the week?
Well, Shannon, my video movie corner pick of the week, I changed it the last second. I'll probably do the one I was going to do next week or something. I'm going to save that little gem because I watched this weekend a little movie, an A24 masterpiece called Y2K.
Tell us about this movie that's based on a year. I've heard of this. Tell us all about it.
That's right. It's based on New Year's Eve, 1999.
Are you talking about 2000? Party's over?
And
oops.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Out of time. Yes, exactly. And in this movie, that's about true. Okay. So this is what if at Y2K.
Like if it really happened. Oh, okay.
Like it really happened. Yeah. So I think it's really fun. It's directed and written by that guy Kyle.
Is it Mooney or
is that his name?
I want to call him
Saturday
Mooney,
Night Live,
but I don't know if that's
Mooney?
right.
Anyway, yeah, from Saturday Night Live, he did this, and actually, it was very funny. It kind of almost felt like I was watching a movie back then, not like they were trying to make it seem like back then. More so than you get in these days, I feel. So if you lived around that time, if you were there in 99, 2000, and you knew the landscape of music, the techno music, corn and things like that, and like all kinds of stuff. Yeah, you're gonna live. I lived.
I had an album.
I did. I had a good time with corn.
Yeah.
I
did.
You had to follow the leader, probably.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the one everyone knows. That's the one they kind of have in this, but it's got some great stuff in it. I don't know what the lead guy's in, but it has a girl that's not so popular right now. I think people are trashing on her. I don't think it's right.
Let
me think.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Her name is Rachel Ziegler.
Rachel Ziegler.
She's Snow White. Yeah, and that's causing some controversy. We're not going to speak on that.
She's Maria.
Y'all getting... Yeah, fix your hearts or die, people. Fix your hearts or die. She was picked by Steven Spielberg to do West Side Story out of nowhere. She was wonderful in that, I think. Yeah, but people are having a hard time with her, and they're not watching this movie or they hate this movie because she's in it. Don't do that. Just watch it. It's actually kind of good. Okay, and so for a minute there, I thought like Wednesday from Wednesday
you thought it was Jenna Ortega.
was in this movie. I did for a second, and then I watched it. I was like, "That's not Jennifer, not Jenna Ortega, Miss Jennifer." It's not her. But anyway, it also had the kid from Deadpool 2, the fire kid or whatever.
Fist.
He's a little older now. He plays the best friend who's just trying to get laid and get his friend laid, and like. Yeah. And it doesn't get too much. Some of those old movies are like, come on, let's stop with that. Let's get on with the movie. That kind of like, dies off, pretty early on. So we're good. But there's a cameo in this movie about a third of the way through, about the third act, that actually derails this movie and makes it so cool.
I thought you were going to...
So cool. I thought it was really well done. I was like, how in the world? That's neat. And it was just a fun ride. They were trying to, fight the bad guys. Like, these the machines could just like
Matrix.
Form with other machines. So they got little hacksaw arms and little TV heads and little, computer brains. And one of them's a little bitty guy who shoots little CDs out and kills people. It's adorable, Shannon. You need to watch Y2K from A24.
AKA my DVD player tried to kill me.
It's a cool movie. If you like movies like that from back then, it's a trip down. It's a nostalgia trip.
It's a skip down memory lane.
All I got. That's all.
I love it. All right, so Y2K and Your Monster, our see, that's hard to say together. Video movie corner
pick of the week.
Oh my gosh. Dr. Bell, eat your heart out. Boom! Oh,
Where am I?
hello. Welcome to the grid. My name is Spark. For legal reasons, you will be part of a computerized world. It's wonderful here, and you'll get to know it. Here, A-Team plays every day on the TV. We enjoy the music of Thomas
Cool,
Dolby.
man.
Also, in this, we have great games in the grid. We have Kick the Can. And if you don't kick the can,
Cool.
you get kicked. And we get to play the live-action version of the greatest Atari game ever made, E.T. That's right. We play the E.T. game. Now, you will be equipped with this.
That's not cool, man.
This is an identity disc. You like that? This is not the one you have.
Is that a Frisbee?
This is the one that you will have attached to your back. It looks like a Dixie paper
It's a plate.
but it's actually an identity disc. Escape is futile, and begin your journey into the grid. All right, enjoy.
Okay, man,
yeah,
cool.
there you go. I just wanted to use my Frisbee.
Yeah, in Tron, I feel like a lesser movie would have him going, where am I? This is crazy. Like, what is happening? Like, I don't understand. And he would be
Yes.
doing that the entire movie. Now, a better movie would have had him mention it at all. Like, he's just there. He's like, cool, man.
It's very Big Lebowski, right?
It is. He does not care one
like,
bit. He's
"Dude,
like, let's
I've been
roll
in
with
these
it.
video
Let's do this,
games.
dog.
You are in so much trouble.
Yep. Sometimes things just happen in this movie.
They
Just
do.
to
They
happen.
do.
And that's
Tron
fine.
is a
That's
fun
fine.
movie. Definitely watch it on the Disney Plus. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
I want to let you
Feast
know.
for the
I want to let you
eyes.
know that we have a sponsor. We are sponsored by the hot new superhero TV show. You know, The Incredible Hulk. Well, in this show, The Incredible Hulk
Yes.
doesn't smash. He doesn't fight the bad guys. What he is he's a reporter who only tells the truth with no bias. That's right. Coming this summer, it's The Credible Hulk. The Credible Hulk. Hulk checks sources. Hulk knows story to be true. I don't know why I sounded like
That's good
Thor
for him.
from Ghosts, but
I mean, I like realism in
I
my
like The Credible Hulk.
stories.
Hey, give the peeps the information. Oh, by the way, can I just say, I don't know what number show this is we've done.
No.
But I've been having the time of my life.
Me too, Shannon.
Oh,
I've had so much fun with you.
Yes, I do. No, I just love this. It's like a class reunion or a family reunion. Every
It's true.
It is.
It's a dream come true.
don't wake me.
It is. Yeah. I like it. Yeah, the paycheck is wonderful. It's
Are you getting paid?
Oh. No. I didn't say
Welcome to the grid. Tell the people the information they need if they loved or hated this episode.
Oh, yeah. If you loved or hated it, you can just leave a comment down below. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, you can contact us at nomspodcast@gmail.com. That's NOMS podcast@gmail.com. And we will answer your fan letters or your requests or whatever you want to do. If you made it this far,
Yep, and
you're
if
in
you got
here,
an old
buddy.
Teddy Ruxpin that somehow had a rupture and thinks it's alive like Chucky, you can reach us through that. Dambala.
That's true,
All right.
yeah.
Well, next week we're going to have another action-packed episode. So, hey, before we go, I figured out why they call you matches. Because you start the
Why
fire.
is that, Shannon?
Bye, everybody. I trying to get a good joke in. And cut.
Nom nom nom.
Nom, nom, nom.